Hashem svasai tivtach ufi yagid yilasecha. We're now in the third parak of Hoshea. In this parak, which is only a 5-pasuk parak, Hashem tells Hoshea to take a woman again, but this time it's Isha Ahuvas Reya Umina Ephas. This time take a woman who's beloved by her friend, but she's an adulteress. Ka'ahavas Hashem es Bnei Israel. This is like the love of Hashem to the Bnei Israel. So you're supposed to take a woman as a woman more like boyfriend to girlfriend, and you're going to ultimately get engaged to her. But this is not the same level of marrying her, and she is not sinning in that same way that she is not having adulterous relationships because she is unbetrothed to anyone, but she is having relationships nevertheless, and she's unfaithful. This is the equivalent of Bnei Israel in Galus and how they have Hashem's relationship, what they have with Hashem. V'him ponim el Elohim achirim, they look for other gods, v'ohavei asisei anavim, and the love of goblets of grapes, of wine. So what are they doing? They're not getting presents the same way that they did from all of their lovers. They're getting just wine. And what does it mean to have wine? That they're taking away the opportunity for Torah, and rather they're replacing it with something that is in the physical realm. They're not having the right values. Again, lower level of the relationship that we have with HaKadosh Baruch Hu in Galus. We're not doing as difficult and things to Hashem, but rather, and we're not getting really great benefits either. This whole situation in Galus is one that is not as extreme. Why? Well, we're in Galus, and for that reason, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says that all of the averos that you do are a little bit less chamor, they're a little bit less strict and severe, because you're not sinning in the makom of the mikdash, which is interesting that there is an example that's brought of the Kutim that came to Eretz Israel, and they settled in the land, and they were eaten by lions, and they were totally decimated when they were in Eretz Israel. But they were doing the exact same thing in their land, and everything was fine. Why? Because the Avirah, the Kedusha of Eretz Israel, is so strict. So here they are also they're taking the opportunity to drink wine, meaning HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is a hint that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving us kind of more like a pass, that when we do tshuva, and he's like, you were drunk while you were doing this. It's not as bad. So we see again, there's a backstory here that suggests that in Galus we have a little bit more of a pass, but by the same token, we're not getting really great benefits. This lover is only she's not getting super duper presents, and so she's really not getting anything that's of significance. The Eskarali. So I want you to buy her b'chamisha asar kesef, for 15 pieces of silver, the chomer seorim, the lete seorim, and for a chomer of seorim, and a letech, which is half of that, also of seorim, which is barley. Why barley? So barley is the sign of animals. Animals eat barley. Like when we have the korban of the omer, so we start off with barley because we're on an animalistic level. We haven't done anything really great. When we came out of Mitzrayim, we were on such a low level until we get to Mamad Har Sinai, and then the karbanos change, and then we can give actual karbanos. Barley is animalistic. What she's doing is animalistic, that she is not loyal to her betrothed is animalistic. And the other reference is also barley is with the sota, with the woman who's accused of doing something by her husband. So they put barley in the water. So all this is not a great image, and that's what you're going to buy her for. You're going to betroth her for 15 pieces of kesef. And why 15? So it's the 15 people that Nevi'im that prophesied that there was going to be a geula that they were going to be redeemed from Galus, and that's kind of because this is an imagery of being in Galus, or it's the 12 tribes plus the 3 avos. So you're going to buy her for 15 pieces of kesef, and then for this amount of se'ora, and it's a se'ora of like a day and a half for the year. Why? Because half a day she's unfaithful, so you're only really paying for her for a day and a half. The Omar Aleha, and you should say to her when you betroth her, Yamim Rabim Tishvili, just wait for me for many days. Lo tizni, don't have znus, don't be adulterous. V'lo tia leish, and v'gam ani elech, and I will do the same. You don't be with anybody, I won't be with anybody. Just wait for me. Just have some sort of a detox. Have some sort of a waiting period that you wait for me, I wait for you, and then ki yarmim rabim yeshvu b'nei Israel. And it's like the same thing that the Jews in Galus, they're going to be for many days, ein melech, with no king, the ein sar, and no officer, the ein zevach, and no karbanos, the ein matzeva, and no altar to put any korbanos on, ve'ein ephod, and not the urim and tumim, the truffim, but also not idols. So this is what Galus is. We don't have all the extremes. We don't have anything good. We don't have the Beis Hamikdash. We don't have a king. We don't have that beautiful kedusha, but we also don't have, and we don't have the urim and tumim. We don't have the special relationship where we have some level of communication with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, but also not the idols, not the matzebos. We're getting no benefit to anything, but just do that with nothing, not with one, not with the other. Just wait. V'achar yeshuv b'nei Israel, and then afterwards, after the exile, after the loyalty that you showed to me, ubikshu es Hashem Elokeichem, and you ask for Hashem, that's David Malkam, and David the king, meaning Mashiach, upachadu al Hashem ve'el tuvo ba'achris yamim, and the tuv is the Beis Hamikdash. So when it came to the rabbis say that when it comes to having their final redemption, we can't do that until we have the 3 things that Rechavam, during the time of Rechavam, there was no more, where they hated the Beis Hamikdash, they hated the kingdom of David, and they wouldn't allow people to do to worship Hashem, to do karbanos, or to have the kingdom of David. And so HaKadosh Baruch Hu says that until that time, shebikshu es Hashem Elokeichem, and until you ask for Hashem and David, the king, and want to serve Hashem with the Beis Hamikdash, then and only then will you have the redemption. Rabbi Tachtel very beautifully says and asks the question, wait a second, but in every day we daven, we ask for these things. We ask Et Samach David, we ask for Yerushalayim Ircha, we ask for all of the things. So why is it that we're not getting it? So the answer is that there's a difference between bakesh and she'elah, right? Achat sha'alti me'es Hashem osa avakesh. I ask for Hashem, and there's a difference. There's asking and bakasha. The difference is she'elah is what we do every day, she'elah 3 times a day even, where we ask and we ask and we ask, and that's good. But bikesh, to ask in a different way, is to do active things towards that end. You can ask to be a Talmid Chacham, but unless you actually study and learn Torah, you're not going to be a Talmid Chacham. You can ask to be rich, but most likely that unless you do the hard work and work hard, you're not going to accomplish that goal. And so here HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying, Ubikshu es Hashem. Yes, you can ask for me in davening, but what I want from you is the actions that reflect that you really want me in your life, that you want Mashiach, and that you want the Beis Hamikdash again. And if you can do that, then HaKadosh Baruch Hu promises, then I will take you back, and like we had in the last parak, Be'arastich le'olam, Be'arastich le'olam, Be'arastich le'olam. Then Hashem is going to ultimately marry us and take us out of this galus. And so this 5 pasuk parak reflects on the fact that we have to do our part, and we are loved by Hashem, that He is a little bit more lenient with us while we're in galus. But Hashem says, no. No, bikashti. You have to really ask for it. And if you do, I will give you everything. I will come back to you. I am in this relationship with you, and I'm going to keep on discussing the permutations of the relationship. But ultimately, it's the same repeated message. I love you, and I just want you to love me back. And if you do that, then we can go off into the sunset forever.